Crystal Palace 0, United go top of the table. Palace stay bottom. No surprises. Was it as routine as it sounds then, Tiss?
I'm afraid it was, from a Palace perspective. You know, they were just set up, worked all week on trying not to concede early, quieten the crowd, and within 2 or 3 minutes they were already 1-0 down. Rashford showed Ward a very clean pair of heels down the left-hand side, squared the ball for Mata, and 3 minutes in, it was always going to be an uphill task from there on. It was only when Fellaini, probably 35 minutes into the game, when he got the second, that United really started to feel like they were totally in control, because during that period in between, Palace had a little spell where they forced a few corners. Sacco had an attempt on target, which was from a pretty awkward angle, and De Gea had it covered pretty comfortably. But they showed a little bit of promise in that period. But then the second goal went in. The third one followed just after half-time, and then it was really comfortable from there on in for United. Palace made a few substitutions, tried to change things around, had a little spell of pressure in the second half, but they were never going to get back into the game, and Lukaku just put the icing on the cake in the last few minutes. I mean,
when we talk about Manchester United, we talk about those who are sort of sprinkled with stardust, if you like, the Lukakus and the Martials and the Rashfords and the Ibrahimovics when he's fit. But what about Marouane Fellaini, who was by no means flavour of the month, has been by no means flavour of the month? He seems to have changed a lot of people's opinions.
He does indeed, and all credit to Jose Mourinho, because he manages to somehow get a tune out of a player there who many thought his career at Old Trafford was over. And yet he's gone in there, he's made him feel important, he's boosted his confidence, and he looks a threat now.
Is he back to doing the sort of thing that he did at Everton?
Yeah, well, he was getting himself into forward positions a lot more often, and he took his goals very well. Got into the back post where nobody was marking him, just ghosted him around the back post for his first goal, and then the second one, he put himself in the danger area, and Rashford managed to whip in the free kick with so much pace. And Fellaini's probably only about 2 or 3 yards out from goal, and he literally just has to let it hit his head, and it goes in. But he puts himself in that danger area, and did very well today.
I mean, Jose Mourinho mentioned before the game that people are saying, well, they haven't beaten anybody. You can't do anything more than effectively steamroller these sides, can you?
No, that's absolutely right. The fixtures perhaps have been a little bit kinder than for other teams. But
it's him talking about. Oh, there you are.
They might have been a little bit kinder than for other teams, but 4-0 is, at home. No matter who you play in the Premier League, you beat somebody 4-0. You've had to have done well.
Same can't be said of Crystal Palace. In fact, the opposite can be said of Crystal Palace. Look, I mean, they wouldn't have expected anything today.
No.
And they've gone in with a much weakened side. Is there any cause for encouragement at all?
There was the small spell, maybe 5 or 10 minutes in the first half at 1-0, where they pressurised and forced 2 or 3 corners in short space of time, but without ever really testing David De Gea. I mean, it is really small crumbs for Palace at the minute. Ladapo came on for his Premier League debut. Felt a little bit sorry for him, because they took off Sacco, had obviously played up front on his own, and they put the young lad up front on his own against that defence. You thought you might have given him a chance and put 2 of them up there, and had a little bit of a go and have somebody close to him to try and be able to make a difference. But no, it's only small crumbs of comfort for Palace today.
Chelsea at home, Newcastle away, and then West Ham and Spurs. Could be a long wait for the first point, couldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, when you're sat at the bottom of the table, you look at the fixture list and every game looks difficult because everyone's got more points than you have. So it doesn't really matter who they turn up to play at the minute. The confidence is so low, the lack of forward players. They'll be just hoping that Zaha gets fit sooner rather than later. He might be able to make a difference, but even so, he's not going to be going to play centre forward and score 6 in 6.
No.
So it's a
no, they're pinning so many of their hopes on Wilfried Zaha.
Yeah,
it's impossible for one player to turn this around, isn't it?
Absolutely.